Hi, this is Morry, the founder of Successors Data, probate.leads.com. I came here to speak with attorney Michael Maddux in San Bernardino, California, to ask some questions that we get those questions on a daily basis as we provide informations to realtors and investors in over 43,000 zip codes. Now, some of the information that Mr. Maddux will inform you here, they pertain to laws in California. We understand that. But across the board, the process is pretty much similar from our point of view. We don't have to get to technicalities on every detail on the law from one state to the other, but the basic principles are the same. The purpose of making this video is I want you as a realtor or investor have no fear to talk to heirs or be able to help them to sell the property or liquidate it. Now, let's look at the information as a realtor. The first thing you have to understand is that if somebody needs to file for probate, it is the attorney's job in most cases, unless they want to file proper, to walk him through the information. So how does it work? Basically, you have a situation, a property that needs to go through probate court proceedings. As a realtor, at one point in a timeline, the court is going to appoint or approve the individual who applies for or petition for the case to have the power to sign your listing contract. So this is important for you to know at what point you come to the picture. You see? Then you work closely with the attorney who handles the case to make sure if you're the listing agent, to go through all the offers, all the proper disclosures to the individuals who are going to bring an offer to tell them this is a probate court case filing. This involves with certain set of documents or regulations that has to be taken care of according to the court of law that has to do with probate case. And basically, for the most part, is the attorney's job to walk you through it. Now, we get the information from people who say, do I need to go take a class and pay $500, $1,000, $5,000 to get designation? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What you want to do is that you want to work with an attorney like Mr. Maddux, who knows his stuff. He'll hold your hand. He knows he doesn't have any problem. He'll tell you, you know what? Okay, you can now take the listing. Okay, we're good. You can now take the listing. You can now get the offers. And here's what you have to do. And so on the next portion of the video, he's going to go into detail as to dealing with you as a real estate agent. Okay? So that's basically what we're going to do next. Mr. Maddux, in this portion of the video, I'm going to ask you as if I work as a real estate agent or a broker. Okay. First of all, in all the years of experience you have in probate,
yes,
does it really important for you if I have certain designation about probate or probate proceedings, or it doesn't make a difference? Does it really make a difference for me to be certified by some company to be able to help somebody to sell the property?
No, that is absolutely not required. In fact, that is, as far as I know, is simply a sales gimmick to try to corner certain market people. The only one that's qualified to bring the probate proceeding before the court is a licensed attorney, such as myself. There is no special class other than that which is promulgated by the local agencies for their own benefit. Okay,
Wonderful.
So all you need is an experienced attorney that you have a working relationship with. That's all you need.
Okay, so if I have Joe Smith want to sell the property, he's the only son, his dad passed away, and he's the only heir, I bring him to you, I say, Mr. Maddux, here's my potential client who wants to sell the property, but they need to file for probate. Would you have the courtesy of letting me list the property when you took it through the proper proceedings for me to be able to list the property for him, or would you cut me off?
Oh, no. The person who our client or the established person who's comfortable is with the real estate agent is the person that we select to hire to sell the house. So we don't want to do anything which would cause a detriment to the estate. Remember, as the attorney, It's my job to make sure that that estate is maintained and that we marshal every penny that we can get for that asset. If we go out and shop real estate agents, the time that accrues, we are losing money on the house. There's rents accruing, the house is potentially sitting there vacant. We could run the risk of squatters, depreciation to the house, accruing mortgages, all while we shop for real estate agents when we already have a comfortable party? I don't think so.
Okay.
We work with a party that people are comfortable with, and that's the person that we will get appointed with the court.
Okay, so here is the other situation. We provide data on probatelease.com
Okay.
as a data provider. Now I'm going to ask you a different set of questions.
Okay.
So a set of the data will say this property is in probate, and here's the attorney involved with it, but the property is not listed for sale.
Okay.
What happens if a person contact your office and offer the real estate services to you or to your client? How would you receive them? What is the best way for them to approach you to say, do you need real estate services for this property?
Oh, you mean if we have an open property that there's no agent attached to, we'll simply go ahead and send us an email with your vital information, and we will evaluate that for purposes of designating our sales agent on that particular property. Usually there's a relative of the decedent or somebody that's personally involved with the office who already has some experience with the property, as I said, who's best suited to go ahead and list that property. If not, and if we have nobody suited to list that property, then we find the actual best agent who's best suited at that time to list the property immediately. Again, what is important is getting things done quickly. Okay, it's not about spending a long time. You know, as long as someone's qualified and they're able to list the property and they're properly equipped to deal with this property, which is important, they have to be equipped. And we were going to ask questions about what their marketing skills and plans are. And assuming they meet this minimum threshold, and we do require some marketing, then they would be selected. Absolutely.
Wonderful. So now I will ask you a question from a realtor or broker point of view.
Okay.
From the time that I bring my potential seller to your office, and let's say the house is sitting vacant, the house is they're behind in payment, how long does it take for you to get us the ability to list the property? What is the time frame?
Well, under the present circumstances you've described, we may be able to do an expedited time frame. Now, let me first tell you what the standard time frame is and what your time frame you would be looking at if you went to a professional services, especially other than the law office of Michael Maddux. Okay, the standard time frame is first the drafting of the probate petition and the various papers that you would need. And then those papers all have to be served and a first hearing has to be set, at which time that they will seek the appointment of a personal representative or executor for the estate. Usually that hearing is continued one time while the court evaluates the different papers and the circumstances surrounding this appointment. So your average appointment time is approximately 120 days. However, if you come to the law office of Michael Maddux under the circumstances you've described, there's a good chance that we're going to be able to get you appointed quite a bit faster. If the property's vacant and we're worried about squatters, if there's a mortgage accruing and potentially the property's going to go into default, we have an absolute duty to make sure that we preserve every penny of that estate. Therefore, if we have a properly qualified and equipped sales agent, broker, who brings this agreement to us, we would seek to go into a court on what's called an expedited or emergency basis and have one appointed to sell the house in as little as 2 weeks. And we have multiple cases that we can cite where from the time that the person comes to our office, within 2 to 3 weeks, they have special orders from the court to sell the property. Now, I'm not saying that we can get these on general orders, but on a special basis, and under the circumstances you've described, I would consider that such basis. We can get these listings done immediately. Immediately.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question that came from one of the brokers. And the question is that if I take my client to you, my potential seller to you, who is not yet appointed to list the property with me, then once you got the appointment for us to list the property and we market the property, we got 4 or 5 offers. Now, I've never sold the property in probate. Can you help us? Can an attorney will help us? Or do I need to have some special classes to go and learn about probate proceedings? How can this
Oh,
thing
no,
work?
this is handled very simply in the office. The purchase contract agreement is a standard agreement. There is a probate purchase contract. We provide that for the agent. The agent does not need to come up with this on his own. We draft everything. The agent simply needs to bring the client here. All the papers will be put in the appropriate order. And then at that time, we will, under many circumstances, make a motion to a court to have the sale approved.
Wonderful.
It's very simple.
Okay. At what point the case is closed, or what is that legal document that they have to have in order for them to be able to consummate the sale?
Okay. Well, all they need is to have letters, probate letters, for the representative, and that allows them the authority to sell the property. Okay. And like I said, we can get usually that authority under special orders quite quickly, so that the property can be sold quite quickly. And if there is a subsequent court hearing to get the property sold that quickly, we handle everything. And usually, these court hearings never require the attendance of the real estate agent, and usually not even the personal administrator themselves. Most of the time, these hearings are handled exclusively by myself.